Hello everyone, welcome to Yamaguchi Japan Speaking Tube Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Issa. This is episode 24, Ep.024. I'll talk the number two of why, when, how did I start to learn English? So, as I mentioned before, when I was a graduate student at Tokyo University of Arts, I felt inferior complex of English or learning English. But I have a trouble to communicate with other countries, people from other countries in English, and sometimes that artists from other countries came to Tokyo University of Arts as an artist with both a student and lecturer, only one or two, who made only one or two seminars. It's very difficult to it was very difficult to communicate with them, and I felt very disappointed feeling. Oh, I'm inferior. I felt at that time. One day, but very specific date, 2015. October and 16th. Which order is correct in English? 16th October 2015. Is it correct? Anyway, that day, I was in bookstore. I was in a bookstore where I sometimes go, which I often went to at that time. I find a book, which is about English, but not English textbook, but neither novel, which is written in English. That book was How to Learn English. I don't know exactly what is called that type of books, but I think it's called how to books. It's the cover of it. Covers of it were bright yellow, and some character and who struggle to learn English. And I just bought the book, and after return to home, I read cover to cover of that. And that book declare the most important thing is continuing. To continue studying English. It's very important for master English, to master English. And not only to master English and anything, to achieve the high level skill, to get the high level skill, it must continuing. And the next, and in order to continue studying English or training anything, spirit, aggressive, some kind of eager, and endurance. Of course, we sometimes tired to learn English. Very, it's likable. We cannot continue. Very good. I like English. To continuing, I like English. To saying, I like English for 10 years, for 20 years, without any depression or any tiredness, fatigue, nothing. Just fun. And to continue for 20 years, it's impossible. In some points, we must very high percentage likely we disappointed my English skill, or sometimes very frustrated. I'm very frustrated. That situation, that hardship, we have to overcome with endurance. So that book say that kind of thing. We have to continue when, for example, through heartbreaking or the drunken situation with alcohol. Even if and a very hard day, very busy for work, but we have to continue studying English. So that the book said that kind of a thing. And one destination of the journey of learning English, 10,000 hours is a good point, maybe half point. Not mastering English point, but it is a good point to objective. The first objective to continue 10,000 hours. So, and the books also said it was very good idea to take regularly the English test, official English test, especially the author recommended TOEIC. I've already mentioned TOEIC test. So I following the what the book said at that time, and I bought the very next day, what the books which the book recommended. and apply for the TOEIC test. Then I obeyed to the direction, especially the continuing is very important. I follow that advice for already. It have been already for 13 years. For 13 years. Just one day, I did not do English training, but except just one day, for 13 years, I study every day. I have studied every day. I mean, that's a very good meeting. That was a very good meeting with that book. I'd like to appreciate the author of the book, how to book, but the early days, very, very severe. I couldn't understand anything, and the TOEIC test has 200 questions, multiple questions, but I can only understand, I can only solve, I can only answer just 1 or 2 questions. Just 1 or 2%, I mean. No, not 2%, 0.5% or 1%. It's very, almost, just I was killed by the test. I have no idea how to fight. I can image. I can metaphors. Metaphors? I don't know that term is correct, word is correct, but there is a metaphor. I am on the horseback and with sword, and I have also eager to fight, but the enemy is fighting helicopter. Well, it's impossible how to fight in this situation like that. That's very hard. So, I talk about the early time fighting log next or after later episode. So this is the end of the number 2. How, why, and when I start English. I started to learn English, study English. Thank you for listening to Speaking Tube Radio. Have a nice day. Bye.